First off, I'd like to thank Millennial, especially Mitch Swan, for sending me these screeners for some of these low budget films that probably isn't going to see a lot of theater count worldwide or even in the USA alone or even VOD. Like, I don't think a lot of people will actually be like, what is this movie, and let it go. Anyway, this one is Bury Me When I'm Dead. When you're dead, do you want to be buried above ground, below ground, or cremated? Chase Leigh Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Bury Me When I'm Dead. So it's about pretty simple premise. You have a couple and one of them is about to die. And when they die, they want to go a very specific way in the woods, swallowing a bunch of seeds, put seeds in a bunch of weird locations to be part of the earth forever. So I hate to say it, some hippy-dippy shit. However, the family is very, very rich and does not want the daughter to do that, and says to the boyfriend or husband at that time, bring me the body, bring us the body, we will give you the car, the condo, etc., etc. However, a lot of backstabbing occurs, and this turns to a semi-ghost story of what is actually going to happen with people with this husband's life. So I like this film. I thought it was okay. Maybe because I thought it was too slow to what it was trying to actually achieve. And I do think there are a lot of different themes in this movie, which some of it was very interesting, but wasn't explored enough to actually have me truly engage with a lot of these characters. So when talking about the positive, it is a kind of different premise. I have to give that, some levity of having a semi-ghost story with this weird, how is he going to survive with his conscience, especially with the in-laws, this girlfriend, if you want to put it that way, because he's been cheating on his wife and something is happening with the girl as well. And is the wife haunting him, or is it all psychological in his head about what is occurring now that she is now dead? So having that is very interesting to bring it to life of like, okay, I haven't seen this premise in a movie before, and I found it very interesting how it was written. With that, it is a little slow paced. It's about an hour and 36, hour and 40-minute movie. And unfortunately, you do feel the runtime with some of the characters. I do wish some of the characters had a little bit more predominance or a little bit more gravitas to them. And what I mean by that, there is some people in the woods that he meets, like an old VA guy that's helping him get gas or at the gas station. Like, his character is very interesting. That brings up a lot of interesting plot points about the parents as well, of like, oh, that's a little bit interesting. I think that he could have gotten more, information from them to blackmail the father who truly doesn't like the husband because of his race, as other things as well, where it's like, different things where it's like, okay, that is some good, good nuggets for me to chew on. But the overall final package, I was like, you kind of just let it go to the wayside. And I was a little bit bummed by that. The look of the movie, I think, is fine. I think there are some interesting directorial choices when dealing with some lighting, if you want to put it that way, with, I want to call it some psychedelics, or you could say just when he's not in the right state of mind. The camera or filters, or whatever you want to call it, post-production, turns the film into like this weird reddish, bluish, psychedelic dream state, which I found interesting, but I don't know if it really worked for the movie as a whole of what it was trying to portray, if you want to put it that way. Surprises. I don't think there's that many surprises in this movie because I hate to say it, but I've seen a butt ton of movies and not a lot of things surprise me anymore. So there's something that happens, I would say, the last 10 minutes that it's framed so perfectly that I was like, something's about to happen in the next 30 seconds, and it does. And at that point, too, it's like, I don't know if that would actually occur at that location, because just like Madam Web and just like other movies where it's like, where is the vehicle going? Why is the vehicle going that fast with that location? It doesn't make sense for what it was trying to portray. Also, at the very, 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 very end of the film, I understand that they tried to say in the beginning that something was wrong with someone's eyes, so that might give levity of what is actually occurring. However, if you're confusing this with a buck, I don't know what to say. I think you're now legally blind because there's no freaking way, because that fur wasn't buck fur whatsoever. Buck has antlers. There was no antlers in this, and I don't think a buck could stand like that and be in that situation as a whole. So I understand the ending. They wanted to kind of like full circle it, but it really didn't connect, and it was kind of more of an eye-rolling moment where I was like, okay, sure, I understand what you're trying to do there, but it just didn't connect as a whole. With that, it's something different. I think what really bothered me is a lot of these side characters didn't get enough screen time for me to really like chew on. Like the girl he was cheating on or cheating with, the in-laws, this guy in the woods, and other characters where I'm like, I know you're adding this for a reason, but give me more of those characters. Also, you might be wondering, Chase, would you ever be put in a situation like this? And the answer is hell to the nah, 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 nah. Why? Because I would never marry or date a hippy dippy girl like this. Like, there's no freaking way. Because if she says, hey, I want you to bury me and put seeds in my stomach and my vagina and maybe my butthole, just to show that things will grow out of me and I'll always be like part of Mother Earth, I'd be like, see you later, woman. I ain't doing that for nothing. 0, 0, 0. So overall, bury me when I'm dead. Sure, the premise is very interesting, and some of the things I haven't seen before, and there is a decent amount of good dialogue to chew on. However, some of the characters are very underdeveloped. The last 15 minutes tried to kind of do something bonkers. It didn't really work, and it was kind of very slow-paced. So Bury Me When I'm Dead will receive a 2.5 out of 5 with Futon, because at 50%. We'll see the critics and user scores gave this one. Critics, we have nothing. Audience score nothing, because this doesn't get released until the 18th, and the embargo lifts on the 14th. Chase, Leigh Hockey here with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of the things, Bluetoontopia, you Bluetonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I don't care if you watch this today, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And again, would you rather be like 6 feet under, kind of like the New Orleans above ground, and like a crepe? Yes, you want to be buried in a crepe. I mean, that would taste pretty damn good. Like when you're maybe like the afterlife, like, ooh, I have a crepe forever.